What up, though, y'all? How y'all living? As usual, Aisha Curry and stepped out here and made a statement that every time she talk, it gets the world in an uproar. So we gonna check this out in real time, see if I can understand it and give you my perception on what it is that's being communicated here. But ah, she does come off as ungrateful. That's a fact. And then not only that, I don't think she realizes, like, as far as what guys hear that you supposed to do for your woman and what a woman wants, she got every bit of that. So for her to be complaining is kind of off-putting, but let's give her a shot here.
What early ambitions did you have for yourself, and what did you want?
It's interesting because I don't ever, I think, get the opportunity to kind of talk about my life before my life now. And so yeah, I graduated high school a year early. At the time, I was living in North Carolina, and I had been in the industry since I was 3 years old.
Okay. In the industry, I think that's an overused term. Just because this person, we may get a job, we may get an interview, we may get a commercial spot. That doesn't necessarily put us in the industry. And let's start there.
I was always working. Commercial, print, like doing TV stuff, always. So other kids were at soccer, doing the extra.
For those of y'all that want to get involved in this business, because you may be in the business but not in the industry, that's called paying dues and hustling. But really, that's called hustling because you would have to do all of these type of things to get noticed. There's very few of us that just get an opportunity that automatically puts us in the industry. Being in the industry will have to constitute consistency in your placement, as well as strategical lateral moves, as well as moves that may take you up the ladder as well.
Curriculars, and I was on a set working. And so it was second nature for me. And quite honestly, growing up, the only thing that I thought I could do. And so I would enter all of these competitions. I entered this one in North Carolina, and they were like, hey, move to LA. And I grew up, I think it's really important to preface, I grew up in these most strict environments.
Let me tell you something about moving to LA. Don't move to LA until you've been invited. Not just because somebody told you. The cost of living is expensive, and it's 1 million people every year from small towns with faces just as cute as yours moving out there for the same small amount of opportunities that you are. You mess around and end up doing pornos. That's the ruin.
Environment. Didn't get to go to high school football games. Didn't get to really hang out with my friends. Damn sure couldn't walk around the mall by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But when these people were like, hey, you want to move to LA? They were like, yeah, go.
Your parents were like, have fun, honey. You're like,
go. You're going to do it. And I appreciate it because that means they believed in me so much.
But you was grown by then. It's to me, she kind of seemed like she going to have a complaint either way because they protected you so you knew how to have a quality of life. And now you want to go off on your own. That's, as a parent now, that's kind of like my ideal for my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not here, go to LA though. I don't know about that one. Daddy might have to come along.
But at the same time, our entire family was like, this is crazy. You can't even carpool.
Okay, wait. You starting at 3, was it because your mom just saw something in you?
The story is, because obviously I have no recollection. We were in a grocery store and a talent agent said, oh, she should be in commercials. And so it started from there and then kept going. And
when you started working that young and then kind of became aware of it, did you love it?
I loved it.
Okay.
I loved it. Eat, sleep, breathe.
Okay, so you come from the strict family. Then you get on a plane after graduating high school early. So you're what, 17?
Yeah, I was 17. My dad set me up for a month. I got an apartment, ridiculously expensive. So
no shit, Sherlock.
So I was shocked. Had to pick up 3 jobs. I worked at a frozen yogurt shop. I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch and a farmer's market on the weekends to like just to be able to make that happen.
Man, she got some good ass parents. That's something I gotta learn. They kind of let her feel in a controlled environment, and then they must have known they weren't gonna have to worry about too much because it's gonna cost her a bankroll to afford to live out there. Say 3 jobs.
And I feel like when you have the dream of LA and acting or modeling or getting into this industry, like naturally rejection comes with that.
Oh God.
When you came out to LA, what was your self-confidence like before you started like really getting maybe some no's?
I think because I came from the small town, I was like, oh, I got this. And then I got out here. And I remember the first couple of like cattle call auditions being like, every single person in here looks exactly like me. Like these are like,
wow. No, let me quit. That's okay. Let's continue. I think this is the part that kind of makes some of the stuff she be seeming a little off key.
we're carbon copies of each other. Like, what's going to set you apart? And so I think early on, I was like, wow, I've got to diversify my portfolio a little bit.
Right, because in North Carolina, you're like, there's like 3 of us in theater that are crushing. And then you get out to LA and they're like, bitch, this is your first audition. Like, this is my 900th. Like, get in the back of the line. You're like, Dad?
And I'm walking in and I'm like, hello. And they're all like, why is this girl talking to us?
Okay, but like Aisha, you have like a huge flex. I found out that you were on an episode of Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Girl, that was my favorite show growing up.
Days.
So you know what? I would put that, if I was you, I would put that on my resume.
Now, this is where it kind of gets funny to me. It appears that this young lady had the chance to be successful at what it was that she was doing before she became a wife, long before she knew her husband. But that's just what I'm picking up from here. So I don't, based on what I'm hearing so far, I don't see him as an obstruction to her being successful as an actress.
I would put that as my Instagram.
It should be the Instagram bio.
I was on Hannah Montana, you fuckers.
Actually, I have a good story. About that. Hopefully you find this funny.
Okay. I'm dead.
I'm here for a camp. Do you want to hang out? And I'm like freaking out because this guy, he was like the guy at church. Like all the girls loved him.
I thought you were going to say like in high school, like on the court. You're like, at church, he was the guy.
At church.
Was he the basketball guy in high school or no?
Apparently he was, but I genuinely didn't pay attention to that because I grew up in such an arts-driven family that sports outside of like Doug Flutie playing for the Buffalo Bills like it just wasn't a thing in my house. And so he said,
now that's a little crazy in a small town. You don't know who the star players is. That's what we're going to fast forward.
So we made plans to hang out. And then I said, where are you staying? And he said, Anaheim. And I was like, I was like,
you're like, so you're coming to me because I'm not.
At this point, I still have the other jobs, like trying to pay the rent. Gas is expensive. So I was like, I'm sorry, I can't this time. But if you're ever back, let me know and we'll go hang out. And he's like, oh, I'm back in 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh my God.
You still in Anaheim?
And so, no, this time he was in Hollywood. So he stuck with it. He hit me up 2 weeks later. We hung out and we've literally been together since that day.
Okay, hold on. Okay. You go.
Was struggling on gas, struggling to pay the rent, working 3 jobs, not booking that many auditions. I'm not a rocket scientist, but the math don't seem like that acting career was going too good, but let's go.
And you hang out with him. Mm-hmm. What is your headspace? Are you seeing him in like a, could this be something kind of way? Or are you like, no?
No, and this was like my first real date. So I was just nervous. I was nervous. It was like years of having a crush. And then years, like I just never thought that he would like someone like me. I just didn't think it was going to be a thing. I thought we would be friends. Yeah.
Did you ever have anything in high school at all, or it was legit just friends?
No, just friends. Just friends. Yeah.
I get what
Hey, but you didn't know he was the star basketball player.
you're saying of like you never saw him as something, but I'm like, when you look back, is there any memory that you're like, maybe there was something or no?
No, never. I had a friend over who had a crush on his brother at the time, and she decided to call him, and they were giggling, and then we're maybe like 15 at this time, and they put Stefan on the phone, and somebody said something about Canada. And so I was like, oh, I'm Canadian. And he's like, oh, do you like Canadian candy? And I'm like, I love Canadian candy. And so
what the fuck is Canadian candy? All right, man, we got to get to the part of the part. Okay, I think we might have
any friends who were in similar life stages to you at that point.
No.
They're like, babe, we're at Juan-o.
No.
What are you doing?
No, actually, all of our friends are like just now having babies, like the past 4 or 5 years. So we were the trailblazers.
What was the hardest part of being a young mom?
I think my identity. So because I have such an entrepreneurial spirit, not being able to call the shots all the time for myself was freaking weird. And then learn.
Hold on now, an entrepreneurial spirit, but you was working 3 jobs. That ain't calling the shots for yourself. A lot of times in these relationships, and men do this sometimes too, it's the only thing in our lives that we have the illusion of having any control in. So we over exercise. And just because you're an entrepreneur don't mean you call the shots. You may have a bank, you may have creditors, or worst of all, customers. And you telling me you're going to call the shots over your customers won't be in business that long. And some of these mentalities, like Steph a good dude because he don't allow this to ruin his relationship, however he worked that out.
Learning how to kind of reset myself to make it all work while still having a family was weird too. But it's made me really resilient and like.
What do you mean make it all work? Do you know there's women out here that don't got a husband or a boyfriend that's making millions of dollars? They might be 100,000 in their household. There is no nanny, no maid, no none of that. And they still was able to go to school, start their business, all while not affecting their husband working 80 fucking hours a week to do his best at funding all of this shit. Like, so when you sit there and from your position and you say things like that, this is what makes your husband look funny. This is what gives people the assumption that you're ungrateful. But to me, this seems like a miscalculated step to identify or endear to people that'll never understand what you're talking about in that way because it seems unauthentic or just like some straight up bullshit.
A little gritty. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, like even thinking about how you said earlier, like once my daughter turned about 1, I was kind of looking around like, I love being a mom.
Yeah.
But I also have this other side of me that I can feel kind of wanting to come back up. And I think a lot of times women can experience or so I've read, because I'm obviously not a mother yet, hopefully. But like women can experience this.
Not a mother yet, hopefully. And you sitting here expressing she's not married, she's not a mother, she looks younger. Which is hard to do for a non-melanated person. Like
it's like mom guilt of like, if I have a career and I'm not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience that.
I would like to bring.
It's always the most chaotic June.
I would like to bring to the attention of everybody watching this. Kids, mom guilt, all of that stuff. We would all be lying if we said we didn't notice. The more moms are working, the worse these kids are. The worse of generations of people we're producing. And that's generally. across all races and ages, just as Americans, period. The more mom is working, the more. And let's also be clear. At least 300 or 400 women were just completely let go from the workforce. A lot of these jobs, in certain ways, we've gotten too big for our britches. What's going on is not sustainable. Mama do need to be at home or not be a mom. And the workforce is going to get more cutthroat because now you're competing with all type of things unforeseen on top of robots and AI.
Confident and cool, then what are you doing? And so for me, it's always been important. I mean, I'm a little ADHD, so like I have 1,000,005 ideas. I have 1,000,000 interests. I'm very creative. I like to explore those sides of me, and I think it keeps me who I am to like my family and the people that I love, but it also allows me to have a certain level of confidence that I don't think I would have otherwise.
Right. It's like you grew up, like we've talked about, like having this thing that you were so passionate about. Yeah. And to lose that creative side of yourself would just mean that you're almost like doing a disservice to yourself. And then
But let's be clear. Who in this room thinks that being married to Steph Curry is stopping her from being picked for a movie role? She's by far one of the most famous wives in all of America. So if any actor or any producer that was doing the movie that see her on these shows acting and wonder, they could easily put her in a movie, no problem. I don't think her merit. And then I'm sure they got nannies, maids, daycares, teachers, etc.
To your kids and to your husband and to your relationships, like that's who you are.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be, as women, we're always told, like, or at least it feels like people just try to have us be one-dimensional. Mm-hmm. And you can do more. Not that it's easy.
No.
But it's an option.
It's an option. Like I say all the time, I'm like,
how is what God made you for in civilization needs you for being one-dimensional? And that's the whole hard truth about this stuff. It's some of the ways that the mentality allow you to look at what you were made and put here for is what ruins your journey through it.
Like when men do it, they're like, "Oh my God, you're so multifaceted! Wow,
you're so talented!
What a renaissance man!" And I'm like, "What?"
No, men have to do it. Men have to do it. And if men doing it were so great, yeah. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Why can't women do the same thing? Like, what is giving you the ick so bad that you feel
the
like?
The problem is this: men can't do the same thing as women. Women can't do the same thing as men, and we all need to stop trying that. We all need to get past that. That shit shouldn't even be a conversation. I mean, for real, Aisha Curry. If Steph wanted to be a housewife and do everything that you're doing and chase an acting career on the side, would you be the best at what you do for him to be able to survive as a husband and a father? While, would you do that? Probably not. If y'all broke up, would you be willing to pay him? Probably not. So quit trying to do what a man does. That's the whole problem with life. Everybody wants to call shots like a man. Everybody wants to move like a man and be able to do this and that. But when the responsibilities of being a man comes up, you don't want to do that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if a man was being overshadowed by his woman career, the last thing he would do is go sit on a couch in front of the world and express to the world about how he's being overshadowed. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't say things that may make his woman career be salty. You know what I'm saying? You never seen Kevin come out dissing Wendy. You never seen Kendu dissing Mary. You never saw these brothers talk about how their wives' careers was ruining their own. You never saw that. And that's what a man would do. So if you want to be like a man, I guess we have to act like one a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I can't do these separate things, be good at them, or at least try to. Like, what is the problem?
It is really frustrating. And then I think, thankfully, I feel like there's just been an uptick of people being like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm just going to do it. Even if it pisses all of you off so much and it makes you uncomfortable to see a woman succeeding. Deal with that.
It's not that a woman succeeding, it's the damage that a woman would be causing. Now, it's easy for Mr. Young Lady speaking, because I'm not calling no woman daddy. which is crazy within itself. She might be an undercover lesbian promoting bad ideas. That's the problem, because when a woman doing that, she's saying, fuck all the responsibilities that I had everybody else and myself commit to this point for me to go deal with that. And it's not that she shouldn't be able to try and do other things. That's not it. The whole point is you can't blame your inability to succeed or be welcome into what you want to do on your husband. That's not fair, especially when you got a husband. Again, like I said, they got maids, doctor, teacher, latchkey, parent, the whole family helping out when you the rich one. So when you the super rich one, so like, get the hell out of here. If she wanted to be an actress, I'm pretty sure she can go on auditions. But earlier in this video, she already told you what was going on with that. You come in the room and everybody look the same. What stands out about you? Obviously nothing in that acting field, baby.
Yeah. On your own side, because I'm going to keep fucking pushing.
Daddy Gang, hi, it's me. Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Shopify.